My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Every single week, we break down full fight cards. We give you our picks, our bets, and our fantasy plays. So make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our content. Next up, at UFC Vegas 47, we have Bryan Battle versus Tresean Gore in what should have been the actual Ultimate Fighter finale. If you remember, Bryan Battle made it to the Ultimate Fighter finals. Tresean Gore made it to the Ultimate Fighter finals, and then Tresean Gore was injured, so Gilbert Urbina stepped in. Bryan Battle won that fight, and he is officially the Ultimate Fighter winner, but this should have been the fight. So it's a pretty fun fight. Bryan Battle, 6-1 in his career, 5-0 in his last five, and he's coming off that win over Gilbert Urbina to win the Ultimate Fighter. Tresean Gore, only 3-0. Only 3-0 as a pro. He's 5-0 in his last five, or 5-0 total if you include the fights in the Ultimate Fighter house, but those are not professional fights. Bryan Battle, I mentioned he's coming off that win over Gilbert Urbina. Gilbert Urbina was a late replacement. Bryan's a good striker. He's got solid volume, nice head kicks. He showed us in his last fight that his ground game is solid and he's never out of a fight. He has decent takedown defense. And he'll look to keep this fight standing as he does most of his fights. Tresean Gore is heavy-handed come-forward wrestler. Almost every single fight that he's in, he will throw 3-4 strikes in a row, immediately drop to the legs, and try to get a takedown. If he doesn't get the takedown, he'll back up, he'll reset, he'll throw 3-4 strikes in a row and do the same things. And these are big, heavy strikes that he's throwing to set you up. And his fights go one of two ways. He either gets the takedown, works from there, beats you up, or he holds you against the cage and then rides out that way, starts racking up points. It's an interesting style. It's a nonstop cycle. He has the cardio to continue doing that over and over and over. And I think that's why Tresean Gore is the favorite, because a lot of these bookies see him just doing that to Bryan Battle. And this fight is somewhat similar to Bryan Battle versus Gilbert Urbina in the TUF finale, because if you remember that fight, Bryan was not having a good night at all. He was on the wrong side of both the striking and the grappling exchanges, but he was tough enough to hang. He ended up pulling off a submission win because Gilbert was absolutely exhausted. And I think this will be similar in that Gore will be looking to get it to the ground. Battle will be looking to strike. I think Gore will also have some success with the striking entries. Definitely have success with the grappling. I like Gore to win this fight, but Bryan Battle has proved just how tough he actually is. And, you know, the guy is 3-0. Putting a flag in the ground, declaring him, oh, he's going to dominate. He's 3-0. It's a little risky, but I think Tresean Gore wins, and I think just forward pressure, the heavy strikes to set up the nonstop takedowns, gets it done, keeps Bryan Battle on his back foot the whole time. What do you think, Jakey boy?
First of all, let me get something out of the way. Bryan Battle does not look like that anymore. If you've seen his Instagram, this dude is jacked now. He's got the six-pack. He is ripped. He looks like he got his opportunity, and he is taking it serious. He changed his entire body, and we'll see if he comes in and it performs even better, because you mentioned that last fight. He fought through real adversity that fight and was able to pull it out, which is a good thing, but you don't want to keep doing that, especially against a guy like Gore, who's going to get the takedowns and is going to try to do the exact same thing. So Bryan Battle, to me, in this fight, I know that Gore is only 3-0. Battle's 6-1. Technically, he's got twice as much experience. But to me, when I watch Bryan Battle, it seems like he's still thinking in the octagon. It seems like it's, okay, this. Okay, now this. Okay, now this. Where Gore, even at 3-0, it seems like everything is so fluid, especially on the ground, with the takedowns, with the scrambling, with the grappling. It just seems like it's more natural, where Bryan's still thinking a little bit. And honestly, I think that's the difference in this fight. I think Gore's just a little bit quicker. He's going to be a little bit quicker to the positions, where Battle's going to be trying to think through the positions. And I think Gore's going to win this fight. So I think Battle is, he's not, I don't think he's going to get dominated, but I think Gore's going to win this fight. So that's my pick.
Yeah, I think we're both on the Gore side. And what's interesting, though, there's a bunch of factors here. This is not a fight that you should bet on, because Tresean Gore is only 3-0. He's also coming off an injury. I don't know what that meant for his training and how far that set him back or what that meant for him. Bryan Battle, like you said, He looks very raw, very sloppy. He was like minus 200 in that Ultimate Fighter finale against a late replacement who didn't make it to the finale. A late replacement coming off a loss. And he was losing that fight. Yes, he won. He pulled it off. And it's not like he needed to pull it off at the end of the third. Like it was in the second round. But, you know, he was losing that fight. He was on the wrong side of the striking and the grappling exchanges until he was able to pull it off. So I like Gore to win, but there are a lot of question marks. There's a lot of, you know, factors in here that just, I can't lay out my actual money on this fight. With that being said, the odds are probably correct. I almost moneylined Tresean Gore. I was very close to moneylining him because when I broke down the fight, I took my notes. I said, bet Tresean Gore. And then when I actually went through, I'm like, man, dude has 3 fights. This is my money. I'm not willing to lay that down just yet. What do you think of DraftKings? 8,300 is actually worth it. I like him in DraftKings for 8,300. There should be some takedowns, and if there's not, plenty of cage control and striking.
Yeah, I like him for $8,300. The only way he gets in trouble is if he gives up his back to Battle, and I don't know if he's going to do that in this fight. I agree that minus 140. I don't know if I'm going to put it straight on him, but I think he's going to be in a parlay of mine for sure, that minus 140. So I like him 8,300. I like him in a parlay. And the monkey knife fight is interesting because with those takedowns, I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to touch the monkey knife fight because this could go so many ways. Listen, you don't need to bet on every single fight. You don't need to play every fight in fantasy. Like, you just don't. There's 13 fights in this card. There's 26 fighters on this card. Some of them you can just watch and enjoy. And this is one. Because if Tresean Gore comes out here, blows the brakes off Bryan Battle, well, next time I'll bet on him. Next time. Right now, not so much. So I'm not going to touch the bets. I'm not going to touch monkey knife fight. Maybe a live bet opportunity. Maybe Tresean does those 3-4 big strikes in a row, gets to the legs, gets a takedown, bang, betting him, done. So we'll see what happens. wewantpicks.com/bets. Sign up, make a deposit, get $50 free from us. After you do, wewantpicks.com/bets.